Okay, so a mighty hello to all horror fans out there and action figure enthusiasts of all kinds of different spacely media and genres. Here I have before me is the Halloween 2 Ultimate Edition Michael Myers, which I am about to review in just a split second. So, get a good glimpse in on this big boy, if you can, with the spookiness that is, well, motion blur. And let's get into it. Now we have a comprehensive look of Michael's packaging. First up, the open panel, in which you get this beautiful, beautiful door background with all the accessories just perfectly aligned inside of it. We get this beautiful photo of Michael Myers himself, just all decked out. From the side view, we got this Halloween 2 looking box. Got the back of the box, which has all the little things and such. We have the side pumpkins, another side again, front of the box once again, and of course, respectively, the barcode at the bottom, in case y'all want to get your own. And on top of the box, that's pretty much all this guy has to offer. Yeah. So, on to the opening. A real quick glamour shot inside. I am missing a head here. I pulled out a head earlier. I had to find it. But what usually would be the default head here is usually there anyways. But here we have Michael Myers. A close, in-depth look of how everything looks in the package. And it just looks absolutely glorious. Of course, you can see the dust just absolutely everywhere. A better view of that glamour shot right there. So yeah, what beautiful packaging Neca has provided us. Kind of looks like a book from this angle. Inside the packaging, as it would be, you essentially have the figure itself and all the little accessory pieces to it, which align right here, right up here, and the extra hands, which I can't remember which one is default or not. And in case you're wondering what the insert itself looks like, this is essentially what is inside the box. This giant cardboard piece. It is the door, but it is not the door to his house like I originally thought. It is actually the door to the hospital. I believe this is from the scene where he kills the nurse. I could be wrong. But it's an interesting little backdrop that you can shove the figure itself in if you so please. Mine was tightly in there, so I'm not sure if it's glued in or just a very tight fit. But yeah, you definitely can use this for something for sure. And as a bonus, here's what it looks like without any light shining on it. Very ambient, dark, and, well, I think it just makes it pop more poetic. If you put a figure in a dark room like this with this background behind it, it's just gonna look eerie as all heck. So yeah, decent little backdrop for your Mikey Myers. And here's just a bonus background shot of what it looks like without all that glorious little packaging detail. And not gonna lie, that extra effort really makes a difference when it's sitting on a retail shelf, because look at that. That just looks so plain without that backdrop piece. And here we have the skull out of its packaging, as you can see, looking all skull-like as it do be. And let's turn on the light. torch is now on, and now you can see a much clearer look at this carved fresh delicious pumpkin pie. Little buddy. He is just looking oh so delectable. Well, the inside of his eyes kind of do be looking like fresh cornbread, to be honest, but yeah, that's how I'd suppose a cut open pumpkin would look. Well, it's supposed to be fire, not cut open, but still. Yeah, as you can see, this isn't a button, but this is a hinge, which allows our said little pumpkin man to fracture open, revealing this interesting, it's hard to do one-handed, little skull that just, quote unquote, keeps on the clothes on my butt. Oh man. There we have it. As you can see, in all its skull-like glory, it hinges side to side, so in case you open it wrong, you can always just adjust it. And as far as spread goes, spread about that far, that's about it. So you can get a real nice stop motion scene going if you're not trying to do stop motion one-handed like I am. And now we are about to spitfire through some weapons. Here is a quick knife shot of Michael's blade. As you can see it inside his hand. A close-up look of Michael's scalpel, as best as you can see it. Just simply a tiny piece of stabby plastic. And it's only fitting for a large surgeon like me to have a very, very tiny little needle filled with anesthetic. Are you ready for your shots? Poke. And of course, what maniac's arsenal wouldn't be complete if his weaponry didn't include the snap smack classic that is the hammer. Okay, so here is a close-up of the Michael Myers face head sculpt, as I am unsure yet at this time if I will be painting it. And I just want to say, hold on as I turn on the torchlight so you can just really get into the in-depth and detail of this thing. And just see without a shadow of doubt all this, as close as my camera will, show you beautiful bloody detail in this thing. I love how some of the blood has off-run into the eye, giving Michael this sort of very haunting look, so to speak. As you can see, if it even focuses, which it's going to focus as best as it's going to do, as you can clearly see there. Turning the torch on, as you can see, here is the other head sculpt for this figure. As you can see, this is the fake Michael Myers eye, so to speak, and my camera isn't doing too good to pick up the detail on this big eye, or tiny guy, so to speak, So let me just turn on the torch light here. And now you can see with my clear white gloves just all the little gritty, nitty details that are put into this, including his bright blue eyes, his glossy hair, as well as the inside of the neck, which is the same with the other head sculpt, which is basically just this beige skin tone of the inner head, which is placed inside the mask head, so to speak. And that is as much as you can see with the, I forgot the kid's name. I'll tell you if I even remember it. If I remember correctly, the kid's name was Ben Tramer, and this head represents the so-called fake Michael Myers or copycat Myers that appears in Halloween 2 that Loomis mistakes this one kid as essentially Michael because his mask is similar, but it's got blonde hair instead of the natural brown hair that he wears so well. And yeah, this was Ben Tramer. I remember that now. So everybody who's basic Michael Myers fan knows who Benny is. That, and of course the fake Jason Voorhees as well, which you'll see a title card for over here. Here is a look at Michael's other head. As you can see, he looks very, very sad. Definitely radiating those tears of a clown energy, for sure, with this particular head sculpt. There's a lot of a lighter brown in the back, and I wonder, pull up the figure here, and yeah, he has the same lighter brown highlights. You know Michael be rocking it like a Backstreet Boy. But back to the head sculpt in hand. Yeah, very, very sad Mikey Myers indeed. With a lot of good, decent Neca detailing that everyone loves so much. Look at those eyes. Look at those sad eyes. You can tell this is the face of a man who has dropped his ice cream cone and is very depressed and wants his mommy because he lost his ice cream. And here we're going to go over Michael's articulation real quick. He has a head swivel, as you can see, which is pretty decent. He has arm pivots outwards, double elbow hinge, which gets good range. He has no torso joint, really. He has legs that can do the complete splits. He can do the crab walk. He's got good in and out range, good bending range. Give or take the figure you have. He's overall, be careful with the hands because, well, fall off easy. Don't want to lose these puppies. You don't just want to have hands coming out of your closet or, I don't know, your couch cushions, do you? Of course, he has the ankle pivot, which we can't forget about, which is semi-okay, but it isn't the best. And mine does feel a little stiffer than it should, but yeah, overall, Michael's articulation, as you can see, is pretty good. He still doesn't get too much of a good sitting position because of the diaper joint, as everyone calls it, but yeah. Michael tries the best he can to be the best he can. And to semi-correct myself, as I was going to say earlier, this isn't my figure per se, as it is much my mother's birthday gift I am reviewing for you all. Overall, I will give the articulation on this guy a pretty decent 10 out of 10. I have no QC problems or quality control issues of any kind on him. He is just a decent dummy thick boy doing his dummy thick articulated job. And of course, a mass Halloween murder, because we all know on this time of year that is what Michael's specialty is. Stabby, 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 stabby.
Well, overall, that's the review of this big guy. He is just all kinds of fun to pose around, do things with. I'm getting a kick out of this guy. I know my mom has already loved the living crap out of him. So until the next cosmic horrors that all awaits us in the next figure review, I bid you all a dibbly dabbly diddly do. I don't know how to do an outro.